Hey Fit Fam, let's talk about the glute bridge. The glute bridge is going to be a great warm-up exercise, a workout exercise, just really good in general to help activate the glutes, help strengthen them, and in the process, that's going to help protect that low back and help support us when we walk, we stand, we do all the things. So glutes are super important, and that's why I prioritize glute bridges. So let's start with the basic glute bridge. What you want to do is make sure that your feet are the same width as the knees, same width as the hips, okay? So work on not letting those legs flare out and then roll on back and down, okay? The next thing I want you to think about, because some of us have a little bit more of a natural arch in that low back, I want you to make sure that you tuck that pelvis to flatten out the back. Because if we keep that arch and then we lift, there's still a possibility of dumping that weight into that low back and cause you pain. So if at some point you start to feel that low back, take your butt down to the ground, tuck that pelvis, flatten out the back, and then lift. A lot of people take their hands out of this movement, but I like to push my hands into the ground as I'm pushing my hips up to the sky to help give me that little bit more oomph and to help me get a little bit more of that mid back off the ground. So if we're getting that butt nice and high, you should almost even feel like a little bit of a massage on those upper shoulders. And then again, you want to think about that flat back. My knees and my hips and my toes are all in line. Work on not letting them flare out. So from here, what you want to be actively thinking about is squeezing your butt cheeks as you're pushing up to the sky. I always tell my clients, you have $100 bill between those butt cheeks. You don't want to let it out. So just keep that nice and tight. Now, a couple things to think about in this position. You should not be feeling a lot of pressure in the knees or a lot of activation through those hamstrings. A little, sure, but if they start to take over, you're not feeling it in your glutes anymore, there's some things we should do. So if you're feeling it in your knees, it's probably because your heels are too close to your butt. If my heels are too close to my butt, I'm not getting as much glute engagement as I am a stretch or a pull in the tops of my legs. So I'd want to scoot them out to make sure that I'm getting maximum glute engagement. Now, if you feel too much in the hamstrings, it probably means our feet are a little bit too far away and our hamstrings are overactivating because we're not getting good leverage from the ground through our heels to our butt. So be thinking about that when you're doing your glute bridge hold, okay? Now, a couple of variations for your glute bridge. That's just your standard glute bridge. You could hold that up for a long period of time. You could work on taking it up and down. Remember, you're squeezing those glutes every single time, okay? And you're not going to let it dump into that low back. Things you could do is add that booty band. By adding this booty band, my clients are really thinking about not letting their knees get too wide. Heels underneath the knees, big push up, squeeze the glutes. You can just work on holding this here. So now I have a little bit more tension or even a reminder that my knees need to stay that hip width, or you can level up to this movement and let those knees come a little bit wider intentionally without the hips dropping, and then bring it back to that hip width. These would be called abductions here, taking them out wide, feeling it in those outer glutes now, and then bringing that back in. That's one variation if you have that booty band. Another variation, I really like to start with a warm up to bring that mind muscle connection in, is to take a med ball. It doesn't have to be super heavy. The bigger it is, it might be a little bit harder because I'm going to actually have you put it between your knees. And so when you're in your glute bridge hold, as you're lifting your hips up, remember, keep that tuck of the pelvis to keep that back flat. You're actively squeezing that med ball to hold that med ball between your legs. So not only are my glutes firing, but I've got that inner thigh working as well. And I'm supporting some more weight. So I'm getting a lot of extra burn here. Every time we lower down on a glute bridge, just slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, just to be gentle on that back and come out of that smoothly. And then another option, I have a sandbag here. You could do this with a sandbag. You could do it with a dumbbell. You could even take that med ball and put it on our hips. But you could also take this from our floor position. I like to keep my hands on my hip bone so that as I press up, I'm keeping the weight on my hips versus letting it roll forward, because now the weight's on my stomach. It's not on the part that's doing the lifting. So just push to keep that sandbag, weight, med ball, whatever it is on top of your hips. I've been showing you static holds, but if you want, you can take that weight down, keep that flat back, keep those knees hip width apart, and then come up and squeeze. Take it down, and then lift up and squeeze. Now, one last reminder here, if you do not feel your butt cheeks when you're at the top of the move, do not lower down, okay? Because if I'm just going up and down, you'll get a little bit out of it, but really I'm all about maximizing my time and the movement I'm in. If you want to get a good booty burn, build strength, take it up, feel a squeeze, feel that burn. You want to know that it's engaged, and then you release down. And then you can take it right back up on that next exhale. If you want to build a booty, if you want to strengthen that low back, you've got to make sure to bring that mind muscle connection in. Think about it, get to that squeeze, okay? So that is your glute bridge and a couple of variations. For more content like this, please like and subscribe.